Sending money to another country. It really should be simple, right? But most of the time, it just isn't. It feels like you're navigating this maze of confusing fees, wild exchange rates, and you've got that little worry in the back of your mind. Is my money actually going to get there? Well, in the next few minutes, we're going to hand you the playbook to navigate that maze. You'll be able to send money smartly and honestly with total confidence.
So why is it so complicated? It's mostly because the whole system was kind of built on hidden costs and really complex processes. But here's the good news. You don't have to be a financial whiz to beat the system. You just have to know what to look for.
And here's the secret. Every single money transfer service out there, from your old school bank to the shiniest new app, it's all just a trade-off. A balance between just three things: how fast it is, how much it costs, and how easy it is to use. Once you learn how to balance those three, you're in complete control.
We call this the transfer triangle, and it's basically your decision-making framework. It's a super simple tool you can use to instantly size up any service out there and see if it's the right fit for what you need to do.
See, every service leans into one of these a little more than the others. First, you've got speed. Does the money need to be there in minutes, or is a few days okay? Second, cost. What is the total all-in price you're going to pay, not just the advertised fee? And third, convenience. How easy is it for you to actually send the money and for your recipient to get it? So let's use this framework and look at some real-world options. All right, first up, the online specialists. These are the modern, tech-focused companies that were built from the ground up just for sending money internationally. Their biggest selling point? They usually give you the best bang for your buck with really clear pricing. Take Wise, for example. Their big claim to fame is that they use the mid-market exchange rate. That's the real, actual rate you see on Google, with no sneaky markup. They just charge a small, transparent fee right up front. So what you see is exactly what you get. No surprises. Then you have services like Remitly and WorldRemit. These guys are fantastic for personal transfers, like sending money home to family. And their key strength is flexibility. Maybe your recipient doesn't have a bank account? No problem. They can often arrange for cash pickup or even send it right to a mobile wallet. And other specialists focus on really specific needs. Let's say you want to try and time the market for the best rate. Z will let you set up rate alerts. Or what if you're sending a really large amount of money? A service like OFX might just waive the transfer fee completely. They'll make their money on a small but still very competitive margin on the exchange rate itself. So the number one takeaway for all these digital services is simple. Completely ignore those flashy, low-fee ads. The only number that truly matters is the final amount the person on the other end is actually going to receive in their currency. That number tells you the real, honest cost of your transfer. Okay, now let's talk about the old guard, a classic wire transfer from your traditional bank. I get it, it can feel safe and familiar, but it works on a totally different and, let's be honest, usually more expensive cost structure. And the biggest difference is this thing called the exchange rate markup. This is basically a hidden fee. The bank takes that real mid-market rate we just talked about, adds their own profit margin on top, and then presents you with their rate, which is, not as good. And here's what that actually looks like. You might see an advertised fee of, say, $40 and think, okay, that's the cost. But that hidden markup can easily tack on another $30, $40, even $60 on a $1,000 transfer. All of a sudden, that advertised fee was only half the story. So to sum up, bank wires, they're almost always the most expensive and slowest option, sometimes taking up to 5 business days for the money to arrive. They really only make sense if you're sending a huge amount of money where security is everything, or if you just really prefer the familiarity of doing it through your own bank. But what if your top priority isn't cost at all? What if it's pure raw speed? What if someone needs money and they need it right now? Well, that's where our third category comes into play. Digital wallets like PayPal are just built for this. Sending money to another PayPal user, even internationally, is often instantaneous. And their other service, Zoom, takes it a step further. It specializes in those super fast transfers, directly to bank accounts or for cash pickup in over 160 countries. Revolut is another huge player in this space, and they have a really cool feature. They let you hold balances and a bunch of different currencies at once. Sending money to another Revolut user, it's instant and it's free. If you're sending money outside their network, the rates are pretty competitive, but it can depend on which subscription plan you have. And finally, we have the original speed demons, Western Union and MoneyGram. Their superpower is getting physical cash into someone's hands, often within minutes, pretty much anywhere in the world. This is absolutely crucial for people who don't have a bank account. Now, you definitely pay a premium for that speed and convenience, but when it's a real emergency, that service can be priceless.
Okay, let's bring this all together. Think of this table as your decision-making dashboard, your cheat sheet. Just look down that best 4 column. If your number one priority is getting the most value with total transparency, the specialist services are your go-to. If you're sending a massive amount, a bank wire might still be the right call. But if someone needs physical cash in their hand in the next 10 minutes, you're looking at cash pickup. This lays out that whole transfer triangle visually, so you can see the exact trade-offs you're making with every choice. Now that you know how to pick the perfect service for your needs, the last step is just making sure the transfer goes smoothly and, most importantly, safely. A few simple checks beforehand can save you a world of headaches later. First, and I mean this, triple check every single detail. One wrong number in an account can send your money into a black hole. Always use two-factor authentication on your accounts. Be on high alert for scams that try to pressure you into sending money urgently. And finally, stick with licensed, regulated services. They have consumer protections built in for a reason. So there you have it. The confusion is gone. You understand the transfer triangle. You know who the big players are, and you've got a safety checklist. The only question left is which mix of speed, cost, and convenience is the right one for you. You've got the playbook now. You're ready to make the smart choice.